So I invited both of you guys to watch Furious 7 with me.
Yes.
And both of you guys would say, I haven't seen the previous one or two, therefore I can't watch it. And I'd argue with you that you could watch it.
I see your argument.
But I have to say for this one that didn't apply.
No?
No, it's...
Is it a completely side story?
It's more...
They called it Part 7. And that's what makes me think that you'd want to watch the other 6.
You can... If you watch... You can actually start at the 5th one and not have watched any of them and you're okay. Or you could watch one just to know like where they met, and then you can watch the next. You watch 1, 5, 6, 7, and you'll be fine. Like
1, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah,
I have not seen 5 or 6.
yeah, but I mean, like you could watch 6 without seeing 5, and you'd be pretty okay. And you could watch 5 without seeing any of them, and it stands alone. But this one's more of a like the last Twilight movie, which is a weird reference. Was just a celebration of the series, if that makes sense. And
is that really how it was?
That's how 7 is. Yeah, it's not really.
What defines a celebration of the series?
Where like they make sure they get every character to show up for at least 2 or 3 seconds that's been in the series, and then
a bunch of cameos.
Right.
Okay.
And so I think 5 is the best one, and it like rejuvenated the franchise, obviously, because they started making way more money again, and I feel like. Where they took 1 and then they kept using that same model over and over again until it wore out, and then they made 5, which was had a new feel to it.
And 5 is when they introduced Dwayne Johnson to the series.
So that's another thing. So
really, they just had to throw in some real acting chops.
When the Rock show was in 5, it seemed like everyone else had been worn out by their role, and he was like gets the joke, and he was over the top. And by 7, he's another character that's worn out his role. And now they're depending on Jason Statham, because Jason Statham, this is his first entry into this.
I was not aware that Jason Statham was in this.
Oh, he did as close as he could to what The Rock did to 5, where he has fresh blood in the mix, and he plays an excellent bad guy.
He also answers the question of what washboard abs would look like if they were really hairy.
Yeah.
And you're like, still not bad.
No, he did a really good job. So there's cliches with the series where like they always have to go over a truck.
Do they?
Always.
Is that like
it's a requirement?
Over a truck, like ramp it?
No, under. Like they have to lower their.
Does that happen in each movie?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God.
And in this one, for example, instead of it just happening, the girl's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm going old school." And then the car drops, and then they go.
Oh, so it's like self-aware. He's like, "I'm doing what we did in all the other movies."
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh, so you're saying they can actually control the height of their suspension?
Yeah, to go under trucks.
Yeah, nice. Air ride.
It's like a Tesla.
Yeah,
awesome.
And the story jumps around too much. They
try to do too much in one movie.
Yeah, I know it's hard to believe, but 5 is actually a really good movie. Like it is a corny and like things are over the top, but like I'm okay with that. Like
that can be okay.
Yeah. Where in 6 got a little too serious, but it wasn't too bad. And 7 is just kind of like I said, a celebration, and like Jason Statham's opening scene is excellent. Like makes you feel like they're going to get this one right. I can't go elaborate anymore because it ruins some stuff, but they do the opening scene so well. And you're like, they got it.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the opening scene in the trailer, right? Where they jump out of an airplane or something.
No.
That's not the opening scene?
No, the opening scene is him doing a exposition to his brother who's in a coma, saying, whenever you pick a fight with the biggest guys on the block, I would always help you out. And then they pull back where he is, and he's in a hospital, and then you think he's just visiting, but he's not just visiting.
He's there to murder him.
No, he went through, he cleared a hospital to.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like cleared it like, hey everyone, I'm here to visit my brother. You guys should get out.
Yeah.
Cleared it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I can get like the first thing that's weird, like he's just in the hospital talking to his brother, and they pull out a little bit, and there's 2 nurses just shaking in the corner, and you're like, why are they shaking in the corner? Do they know that he's a bad guy? And then they go back further, and he went through a SWAT team to get to his brother and have a conversation with him.
I see.
Yeah, so you're like, oh yeah, he gets the joke, but then they go to like all their bro moments that are required. It's basically like everything that made 5 successful, they tried to amp up, but they think everything in 5 made it successful. So like Dom, Vin Diesel's character, like likes to stare down danger, but at one point he's mad dogging a Gatling gun with no plan other than to just mad dog it, like stare it down.
So he has no idea like how that works.
No, and like it's like in like the bro scenes, like they assume everything in 5 made it successful, therefore they amped up everything that happened in 5. So like the bro scenes are more bro-y.
It's like everyone's got 2 visors on backwards
yeah,
now.
exactly. And
the girls have their shirts hiked up.
yeah. Oh, I mean they do the cut scene to like a music video where girls are shaking their butts.
Yeah.
But like in 5, it's actually how I can't say tastefully done, but acceptably done. And then in this one, it's literally like next scene, butt scene. Okay, we'll move away from that. We got that in. Good job. And then
Just checking boxes with butt cheeks.
exactly. They did do 2 things that was weird. When they were doing a car chase scene, they used almost James Bond music. Like it was like on the fringe of copyright. And then there's a scene where Jason Statham and Dom or Vin Diesel are going to head off, and they played almost Star Wars music. Like it's like when Obi-Wan and what's his name? Darth Vader, and I'm losing, like I know
Anakin Skywalker.
Anakin are like facing off, and they have that music in the lava thing. Like they played that music almost, not quite there, and it's like they had to have done that on purpose. Like that, like I'm.
So it was orchestral and had a chorus.
Yeah, and the rhythm.
And it was in Latin or something.
Yeah, and the rhythm was very close. It's like, oh,
And this is for a car chase?
This was for, yeah, I'll talk about like, so at one point, Jason Statham pulled a gun on Dom. Was like, did you think this was going to be a fair fight or a street brawl? And then like he was going to shoot him and he didn't because of reasons. And then at the end, it's Dom's turn to say, it's like, did you think this was going to be a street fight? Because he has a shotgun point at him. He's like, yeah, me too. And he throws the shotgun away and then pulls out 2 wrenches. and
then he hands him a wrench.
No, Jason Statham pulls off 2 pieces of a broken car.
Oh.
And then they're facing each other Star Wars style. And then they start playing the Star Wars music. I was like,
huh.
Yeah, it was really like.
That's an interesting choice. That's not something I would expect from Fast and Furious.
That's the only time that music has ever been played in the series, as far as I can recall. Like it was very specific. But no, if you've enjoyed 5 and 6, it's like you can watch 7, but it's not like where 5 and 6 probably stood on their own as good movies. 7's just like a tribute type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, they get you with the Paul Walker scene. Like you're done.
Yeah.
But they did open up 4 sequels without having to kill off Paul Walker, which I thought was.
They opened up what?
I don't understand what you mean by that. Yeah.
No, they opened up.
Where we can expect Furious 11?
Yeah.
Or it'll be like Fast 11 or.
Not 4. 4 as an FOR. Like the opportunity is still there to have sequels.
And how do you mean they hit you with the Paul Walker scene?
They didn't do a flashback to the Paul Walker funeral scene.
They did very much what's it called? Twilight style, where like they like show his character.
Seen the
well,
Twilight
no, I'm
series.
going to explain.
Okay.
They're going to show, like they show scene in the movie, not post credits. In the movie, they show scenes from all the movies he's been in, and like him growing up, like while they're like thinking about him, and they give him they give a reason why he will not be in the future sequels.
Mm-hmm.
And it was pretty, like I don't have like a big connection to Paul Walker. Like I just
but you think it was done well?
Yeah, but I was like kind of like my wife said her eyes were burning because she was trying not to cry.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know,
and she's not a crier. You guys know that. So
it's just that, you know, the loss of a beautiful man makes you sad.
Yeah.
Like Andy Whitfield, the guy who played Spartacus in the first season. I heard that he died and was like overcome with grief after I had seen the first season of Spartacus. So same thing.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, it's all. I don't know. Just I would watch it if you enjoyed the series, but it's not like like I wouldn't start on 7.
Okay. So you're saying we were right not to go?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, double.
But
nice.
like based on my previous on the previous two, it
You would
been,
say 1, 5, 6, 7.
yeah, you can
2, 3, and 4. What's the deal with 2, 3, and 4 then? Are they like side stories?
2, 3, and 4 were where the series was going towards kind of being like straight to DVD feel. Like they were just trying to cash
Well,
in.
2 is story wise. Paul Walker's character becomes a criminal.
Right.
2 was the one where they ramped a car onto the back of a boat. Was that?
Has that happened only once in that in series? You know.
Wait, really?
Yeah. I don't know. Like 2. Well, 2 was it was supposed to be Vin Diesel, and then they just basically said, "No, it's my best friend," and like they just changed the very beginning, but like kept the rest of the lines pretty much the same. And and then there was Tokyo Drift, which just actually takes place after Tokyo Drift. So this is you're finally caught up.
This is the farthest along.
Yeah.
Is Tokyo Drift a complete side story?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it is a spinoff.
Because it has. All I remember is there's a guy with a cowboy hat, right?
Yeah, and
he's in Tokyo.
He wants to drift.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. That does not compute in my brain.
Tokyo Drift was when it officially was trying just to be a B movie type of thing, and but they instead of scrapping it, they like made it part of the series, like the.
Did it not include cast members from the first 2?
Tokyo Drift has 2 people, and one of them is Vin Diesel shows up at the end.
Hey, still Fast and Furious. Yeah, Vin Diesel's here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they reference like the 2 Little Bow Wow and the main guy are in this one.
I'm pretty sure he's about 25 now, and he's just Bow Wow.
Just Bow Wow. Yeah.
I actually had to wait to leave a airport because Little Bow Wow wouldn't take his seat on my plane.
Oh,
yeah,
that's a good story to tell.
Yeah, I was heading home and
he wouldn't take his seat.
No, like they kept saying, like they used to say, okay, everyone on first class take your seat, and everyone, they go in order. Well,
like he wanted to be last.
No, everyone on first class or boarded, but they knew that there was a celebrity that was, and this is when he was a kid, like probably 12 or 13, and like they knew there was a celebrity taking the plane, so they just kept delaying for him to.
Oh my god!
And then he, like, it was either his dad or his agent type guy was like saying, "Hey, you need to get on the plane," and he just started cussing him out. And then someone said something to him for being a little brat kid, and then he started cussing him out, and then.
Yeah, sounds right.
Did the plane leave without him?
No, he got on.
If I pulled something like that, I'm pretty sure I would just be detained.
Yeah.
And cavity searched.
I mean, it was post 9/11, I guess, but it was like a long time ago, like probably 2002, 2003, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my Little Bow Wow story. I can visually see the airport, but I can't remember which airport it was. But I could draw what it looked like.
Do you ever scan first class for celebrities whenever you board a plane?
Even after seeing a celebrity on one of the planes I was on, I still don't even think about doing that.
I do.
Well, you were West Coast. That's probably more.
Well, I've been all around.
Yeah. I mean, and you also were like major city. Like every place I lived, there's no celebrities here. So I guess that's why.
You never know.
Yeah, it's true. But
I haven't seen one, just to be clear. Although I have seen someone who looked like they could have been a college coach, sports coach. I don't know.
I did wind up in coach class with a former defensive lineman from the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Who had lost the Super Bowl to the Denver Broncos.
Oh.
And I was wearing actually the Broncos hoodie I'm wearing right now.
Nice.
He was like, "Oh, hey, yeah, they're a really good team." He was so big, and I wanted to be mad, right? Because he looked fat. But then, like, he sat down and the seat flexed, and like, just this tree trunk of an arm was kind of like on me. I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be wonderful." And then it's like this kind of interesting character who had not a lot to say. It's not like a person who won't shut the hell up, but said some words, and I was like, "Huh." He was like explaining, like, "Sorry, I'm a really large man in a really small seat." Effectively, like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm just a former defensive lineman."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he introduced himself that way. That's interesting.
I don't exactly. I think it had to do with like Denver Broncos hoodie, and he had a snow cone of a ring on his hand. He had an NFC Championship ring on, right?
Uh-huh.
So, but I do not like to speak to people on aircraft. Like, I want to read silently and maybe listen to music.
It's been years since I've been awake on a flight. Like, I make myself not sleep for like a day, and then I just pass out for the whole flight. Not because I'm scared, just because I don't want to be associated with.
It's boring and painful.
Yeah,
like I actually, regardless of the time of my flight, will have 2 or 3 drinks before I get on a plane. Like, the intent is to fall asleep.
Yeah. Well, it's not so bad anymore because you have you can spend $20 and get free Wi-Fi with $20. Not free. Sorry. I don't know if it's $20, but yeah, I did that once. I don't know. It must have been a 6-hour flight because you just pay the one cost and then you get it for the entire flight. Doesn't make sense when you're flying for like a connecting flight to a hub or something. But
once you go cross country or
it's more tolerable now.
Yeah.
I would say for that reason.
I know it's completely unimportant, but that year the Falcons went was the year that the kicker for the Vikings had not missed a field goal all year. And to get them to the Super Bowl, all he had to do was kick a field goal, and he missed. That was the first time he missed.
I remember that.
Yeah. And I was like,
wow, who was that? I don't remember.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, that's not the first one you want to miss. Like, it was a pretty long one, but it wasn't like 60 yards. It was like
Well, that was when Jason Elam was nailing 60-yard field goals for the Broncos.
Yeah.
Because they were not exactly the most high-powered offense, but they were winning games.
Yeah.
Do the other streaming services carry parts of the Fast and I said other streaming. Do streaming services carry parts of the Fast and Furious series? So when Fast or as it'll probably be called and 8 because they've used every combination of Fast or Furious in the titles. So when and 8 comes out, do you think that we'll be able to pick up a marathon on 1 through 7?
I'd have to look, see if they are streaming. I'm not sure, but they did do a reference where they said he wanted his car armored out, and he's like, you're gonna lose some speed if I do that. And he's like, sometimes you don't want to just be fast, and then it's like and furious.
Yeah,
that's what I'm like elbowing my wife. Is like, he meant furious. Like that's what he meant.
Who are the overarching bad guys in this series?
As
my question,
they do. Oh, actually, that reminds me of 2 things. One, they do the Die Hard thing where they kind of like.
Right. So you had the Asian guy in the first one, and then like his brother shows up.
Yeah, like Jason
later.
Statham. Yeah, like his brothers with that one, and then like But the other thing is, I also want to make was it Salem, the movie, the Martin Luther King movie?
Selma.
Sorry,
Selma.
I'm blanking out.
Salem.
It's way too early in the morning. So Selma. You know how like once it got to 2 people in a room, it got bad. Like it got like it was a good movie, and then they got 2 people in a room, and it's like this doesn't.
Yeah, like it could handle exposition, but it couldn't handle dialogue.
Right. That's what Furious 7 is where like when it's them being a group of people having fun, they do that excellent. But when it's just 2 people in a room talking, you just want to fast forward in the theater. Like, yeah, I get it. I was like, I thought about while I was watching, like, I've had this experience before, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is Selma all over again.
That gives me a business idea. A double speed theater. So there are certain things that I'll watch in double speed because you can still hear all the words and you can still make them out, and you still want to see it, but you don't want to take an hour and a half. So you double speed and knock it down to 45 minutes. Double speed theater.
I mean, my wife watched the Heath Ledger where they're on a mountain and they're gay.
Brokeback Mountain.
I made her watch Brokeback Mountain double speed because she wanted to not watch it as soon as the sex scene occurred. She's like, no. And I was like, no, we are committed. So
Is that enough to make someone just shut off the movie?
Like even if it was a guy and a girl, it could be too
like Watchmen then.
Yeah. It's more like from what I've heard of. Yeah. It's like Watchmen. That's a good example. All right. But yeah, I did the same thing. Like we watched double speed so she could. And like I narrated the story that I hadn't seen before, but you could tell just by like their facial expressions. Yeah. So watch 7 after you watch 1, 5, 6.
Is this a theater movie?
No.
Okay. Pay to rent it?
Really? You kind of spoke highly of it, I thought.
You're looking at the #1 fan of the Fast and Furious series.
Yeah.
Of course he recommends it. He's cautioning non-fans.
Yeah. You could wait until you can watch them all at home.
Have you ever owned a Civic?
Did I? No, no. I went from I owned a 2-door Accord.
Oh, that counts, I guess.
Yeah,
you could juice that thing up.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, we had the parking lot experience where everyone was.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where you wait 10, 20 minutes before you actually try to leave the parking lot.
Yeah. You either want to be the first one out of there or you just wait. And then we had a situation where everyone wanted to leave at the same time in a hurried fashion.
I'm pretty sure I did that after the first. I'm pretty sure I did that after the first one.
Yeah.
Which is embarrassing to look back on now. Yeah. But that movie had me so amped up.
Yeah.
I had to. I had to speed.
Yeah. Like you don't need to take the highway to get home, but today is a highway day.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.